Hi everyone, Chris Grice here from Tree Frog Creative Digital Marketing. We're going to be putting a video out every single Wednesday to help you get more out of your marketing and more out of the internet for your business. The first thing we're going to be looking at is something that I've been talking a lot about at network meetings recently, and that's how to measure the return on investment from your search engine campaigns. Now, there's a lot of videos already out there talking about return on investment with SEO, but they're all talking about how to do it after the fact. So let's face it, if you're a small business like me, what's the point in that? Because you've already spent all your money or all your time on your SEO campaign, and you don't want to be 6 months down the line before you know whether it's going to work or not. You at least want a very good idea of what you're going to get before you start spending your money. If you know me, you probably have heard me talk about this before. The example I'm going to use is the same example. It's a real business. I have changed some of the details just to protect the innocent, but all the facts and figures are exactly the same. So to give you a bit of a backstory, guys, a company called us a while ago and said, look, we don't know what's going on with our SEO. We're already at page number 1 for the term that we want, but it's just not bringing in any work. So with my laptop in one hand and the phone in the other, I quickly did a little bit of research and I highlighted the problem, and this is what we're going to look at today. Okay, so let's say the company in question is an IT support company, and they've been working on optimizing the search term IT support Chester. They're a local business, they don't want to go too far out of the region. IT support Chester. Now the problem is that search term only gets searched for 90 times a month. That may sound like a lot, but statistics show that even if you're at the top of page 1, you're going to get 32% of the traffic. So that's 29 clicks. Let's call it 30 to keep the math simple. Okay, so we've got 30 people a month finding him on Google and clicking through to the link. The next thing we need to do is have a look at how his website converts. So out of that 30 people, how many of them are picking up the phone, filling in a contact form, downloading a free widget, whatever the main action is that they want their website to do for their business. So statistically speaking, a good conversion rate for his website would be about 5%. Now this changes quite wildly depending on what type of business you're in. If you're in financial services, this could be as high as 10%, and in retail and e-commerce, a good conversion rate would be 2 to 3%. So if his conversion rate is really good at 5%, we can expect that out of his 30 people who've clicked, about 1.5 a month will call or fill in the form. Okay, so now we're down to 1.5 contacts a month. Now, next thing to look at is actually what the conversion rate of his business is. So out of the people who call, how many people will actually become a paying customer? Now, a lot of businesses wildly overestimate what their conversion rate is. Quite often when I'll speak to people, they say, oh, about 80%, 9 out of 10 people who contact us will become a customer. The truth of the matter is that usually this can be as low as 10-15% if you don't measure it. And if you do measure it, normally you can get it up to around 50%, again, depending on your industry. So I'm going to say that this one's kindly average, around 30% conversion rate of people who contact them to who then fulfill an order and become a customer. So if we've got 30% of his 1.5, that means he's going to get 1 new customer every 2 months. Now that, again, doesn't sound too bad. New customer every couple of months, that's brilliant. We're growing and we're getting new work in. And yes, you've guessed it, there's more. Next thing we need to do is actually look at what their average sale is and what their margin is. So let's say the average spend is £1,000 per transaction. Some people spend £10, some people spend £5,000, but when you add them all up and do an average, £1,000 per transaction, and that's really important. Their margin is 40%. So this means out of that £1,000, they keep £400 profit for the business. Here's the tricky bit. I know for a fact that this company was paying £250 a month for their campaign. £250 a month, they were getting 1 new customer every 2 months at £1,000, so that's £2,000. But when you add the margin, then actually it was costing them £500. Remember, it's one customer every 2 months, so they was costing them £500 to generate that one customer, and they were only making £400 profit. So it was actually costing them money to run the campaign. First thing they should have done is actually worked out how much profit they need to make the campaign viable. The second thing is to make sure the conversion rate on their website is as high as possible, because let's face it, there's no point in doing SEO, any other kind of marketing, if you're driving traffic to the site and then it's not converting. Get this up first, and then anything that you do spend your time and money on is going to be a lot more effective. After that, you should have looked at this keyword portfolio, and I use the word portfolio because very, very rarely is it a good idea just to be running an SEO campaign with 1 or 2 search terms. And I'll do a video on that next week. Now, if you've done those 3 things, you can actually work the math backwards. You can say, okay, well, to be spending £250 a month, I want to be making £600 a month profit. So if he knows that he needs £600 to make it viable, then he knows how many widgets he needs to sell to make that happen. If he knows how many widgets he needs to make that happen, then he knows how much traffic needs to come onto the site because of his site's conversion rate. If he knows how much traffic needs to come onto the site, then he'll know how many people need to be searching for that term or terms in order to generate that traffic. So it may well be that he might be working on 20 smaller keywords, it may be that he's working on 3 or 4 large ones. But the fact is that he knows how much traffic he needs to generate. Then, when he's done that, really that's the time to get to work doing it. So if you're doing your SEO yourself, then you can sort of do all the techie nerdy stuff, or if you pay a company to do it, then it's the time to get them involved. If you follow this model, it'll save you a ton of money, it'll save you a ton of time, and also it'll mean that you'll be able to measure and predict what's going to happen rather than just wait until the end of the campaign. I really hope you found this video useful. As I said before, we're going to be doing loads of these. We're going to be putting up 1 a week. So if you have any questions, don't forget to put them in the comments section, and I will do my best to answer all of them. If you've got any ideas for other episodes, again, please just stick them in the comments. Follow us on social media at Tree Frog Chester, or just search Tree Frog Creative in Facebook.